All right, I got it. You guys are excited, you guys are having fun, but why not, right? You guys are learning how to finally take control of your hard-earned money, and you guys are actually seeing a tangible impact in terms of your financials till the end of this masterclass, right? So why will you not be excited? Cool. Let me present my screen again. All Now let's get to the big daddy, guys. And now it's time to turn up the heat for people who are thinking like, "Hey, Sharon, I already knew all of this, right? And I'm a CA, bro. I'm a CFA. Teach me something I don't know, bro. I know all of this. I already studied all of this in school, right? I know everything. Now it's time to turn up the heat, guys, because now it's gonna get harder and harder. But if you do not have a finance background, don't worry. I'm going to explain it like you're like a 10-year-old or a 20-year-old guy, I mean, a 15-year-old guy or 15-year-old girl. And it's going to be I'm going to make it as easy as possible. And it won't get easier than this anywhere else on the internet, right? Because I've been doing this for the last 1.5 years, already 20, 25 masterclasses done. I've gotten better and better. But let me just stop talking and just get right into it. Cool. Investing in the stock market. What are the two options that you have? Either you directly buy stocks, I directly buy Reliance, I directly buy ITC, and then act like I'm Rakesh Jujunwala, or you invest in something known as an equity mutual fund. You would have heard of these ads, mutual fund, Sahi Hai, and all of that, but do you know what it is? You see, a mutual fund is actually a place where people who don't have the time or the energy to invest money by themselves, we send that money to an expert fund manager, and that person invests on our behalf. And they take a small commission for that. They take maybe 1.5% commission for that. Assume that okay, there are like thousands of you guys here, or let's say I'm the mutual fund manager, all of you sent me 100 rupees, I collected it and I invested on your behalf. Right? And I take 1% of that money as my commission. Second option is to do it by yourself and invest in stocks by yourself. Now, I will tell you what I personally do. Me personally, I don't directly pick stocks by myself, and I'll tell you why. The reason is that to pick stocks by yourself, there is a huge amount of time that you need to commit. Anywhere close to 20-25 hours per month, you need to commit because along with your daytime job, which is maybe going to the office from 9 to 7, or maybe you're a business owner, you are running your business, along with that, I need to commit maybe 4 or 5 hours per week or 5-10 hours per week to read company financials, to understand the macroeconomics, and to understand and to constantly monitor my portfolio by myself. There is high chances of me forgetting to do it because I procrastinate. Also, I just don't have the time, right? So, this is the question I want you to ask yourself. If you have dedicated those extra 15 to 20 hours of your time on your own work, let's say you put in more hours at your office, maybe you are committing more hours to your company, and or maybe you are upskilling yourself at whatever you are. Let's say you're a programmer, you are an artist, or whatever, you're a product manager. Let's say you dedicate that extra time to be better at what you do. Don't you think you can maybe get a better hike at work next year? Don't you think you can switch your company and get an increment there? Or maybe if you're running your own business like me, don't you think if I dedicate that extra 15 to 20 hours on my business, I can expand my business, I can hire more people, improve my team, I can make more money if I just focus on my money making skills, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is, even if you learn and put all your extra time on learning how to pick stocks, the best you can do is probably get another 10% returns. So if Nifty 50, which is the overall India stock market, is getting 15% returns, you can get maybe 25% returns, right? My question to you is, how many people do you think are consistently able to get 25% returns every year? You see, a mutual fund manager is a person who has 20 years of work experience and has a team of 5 to 10 people under him or her. Now, these guys are able to get maybe 18-20% returns on a good year. 18-20% returns. If you have to do it by yourself, you're telling that you're better than them, so you can beat them. But even if you beat them, you might, best case scenario, you might get 20-25% returns. So my question to you guys is, Is it worth that effort? Don't you think if you use that effort on yourself and get better at what you do, get a better, higher paying job, right? Or get better at your business, don't you think you can get more than 10, 15, 20% returns there on making more money? So that's the question you need to ask yourself. And that's the question I ask myself. I don't want to learn how to pick stocks because if I use that time on getting better at what I do, but being a better content creator, being a better management consultant, and being a better CEO, I can make more money, and I have made way more money by doing that instead of learning how to pick stocks. But that doesn't mean that investing in mutual funds is a cakewalk. See, there are 6,000 stocks in India today, but there are 4,000 mutual funds. So even investing in mutual funds is not a cakewalk. There is still a method to the madness. There are so many mutual funds to choose from, 4,000 plus mutual funds. How to pick, right? How to pick mutual funds. 4,000 plus mutual funds. Is there a method to the madness? Government is saying mutual funds sahi hai. SEBI is saying mutual funds sahi hai. Lekin kaun sa sahi? 4,000 mutual funds. That's what you're going to learn how to do in the next 5-10 minutes. Right? But before that, let's understand what are the different kinds of stocks available in mutual funds. So there is large cap mutual funds which invest in all your big daddies like Reliance, TCS, or Infosys. And then there are mid-cap mutual funds like Zomato, Glenmark, and then there are small cap companies. 100 rank companies, meaning in terms of size, it's called large cap. Mid-cap is 100 to 250 rank, and small cap is everything after that. Now, this is how you divide your money across large cap funds, mid-cap funds, and small cap funds, depending on your age. Right? So this is something that I have learned through experience by talking to mutual fund managers. So as you grow older, you will reduce your investments in mid cap and small cap because they are very volatile, and increase your allocation to large cap. But this is how you divide the money. So take a quick screenshot of it. Alright? Now you are like, okay, Sharon, I understood large cap, mid cap, small cap mutual funds. Now, within large cap, what to do? So this is a graph that shows, you see, when it comes to investing in a mutual fund, there are two options. Either you invest in an actively managed mutual fund where there is an actual human managing your money, or there is an index fund where a computer is managing your money. One of the most famous examples of a computer managed mutual fund is Nifty 50. Have you guys heard of Nifty 50? Have you guys heard of Nifty 50? Yeah. You guys hear, right? Market has gained so many points, the market has dropped. That's called the Nifty 50. It's a computer managed mutual fund because there is no human involved. It's a computer algorithm which automatically invests in the top 50 companies of India blindly, whoever the top 50 is. If the 50th rank becomes 51st rank, the new company comes in and it's automatically invested. Now, once you understood that, now let's look at this graph. You see, this yellow line that you see here is the average of all the actively managed large cap mutual funds in the country, where there is a human involved. This red line is the Nifty 50 index, which is a computer managed mutual fund. Now I'm using terms like computer managed and all of that just to dumb it down for you guys. But technically it's called an index, right? So what is the moral of the story over here? The moral is that a computer which is blindly investing in the top 50 companies of India is able to beat a human who is managing your money. Not only that, the computer is charging me 0.1% to 0.2% of my money, whereas the human is asking me 1% of my money. So the human is asking me 10 times more money. So the moral of the story is, when it comes to investing in the large cap sector, please invest in an index fund because they are beating humans and they are 10 times cheaper, right? How many of you all have invested in a large cap mutual fund? Please say hi. How many of you all have invested in a large cap mutual fund? See, so many of you all are saying hi. I'm already seeing 99 plus already happening. Hundreds and hundreds of you guys are losing money. You guys are losing money because you have invested in the wrong fund. So if you have been investing in a large cap mutual fund, you guys are actually losing money. How much money are you losing? Let's find out. Right? Now, if you did not know this, in the next 20 years, if you're continuing to invest in a large cap mutual fund, this is what's going to happen to you. Let us assume that you made a 10,000 rupee SIP in a large cap mutual fund. You will be losing 5.2 lakh rupees over the next 20 years if you had continued to invest in a large cap mutual fund. So, if you have been doing that, please type MB4 in the chat section, because I just blew your mind right now. Please type MB4 in the chat section and open the sheet and type whatever SIP amount you have allocated for a large cap mutual fund. Type it here, because that is how much money I have just saved for you in the next 20 years. All right. But the story doesn't end there, guys. Why does the story not end there? Because I'm also going to teach you how to invest in an index fund. It's very easy to say invest in index fund, but which one? There are so many. That's why there are 4,000 mutual funds. Let's understand how to invest in index funds, right? So I'm going to open up. Second. Like I told you guys, this is not a Gyan masterclass. I'm going to actually teach you how to do all of these things, right? So you open Ticker Tape, which is a mutual fund screening software. Come to mutual fund screener here. You come here, come to equity, and let's do reset all. Right, see here, 4,822 mutual funds, right? Come here, equity, select index fund. Come here in plan, it's growth plan. Come to AUM. AUM means the total amount of money this mutual fund is managing. Meaning, if there are lakhs of crores of people in India, right? All of us are putting money in mutual funds. So let's say I'm a mutual fund manager. All of you send me whatever money, whatever I collect is called AUM, right? So what the hell? What happened? Some updates have come. So for index fund, I would have minimum 500 crores AUM, because anything lower than that, it's a very new fund, which I don't trust. So I don't want minimum less than 500 crores. And then it has its own challenges in terms of expense ratio and all of that. So that's why I say avoid new funds. These new mutual funds that they launch, full doom dhamaka advertising they do, please avoid them for this very reason. CAGR you don't need to know how much returns they have given. But you need to know the expense ratio, and you will need to know something known as, what is the expense ratio? Expense ratio is how much commissions they are charging. If you have invested 100 rupees in a mutual fund, how much rupees is the mutual fund manager's commission? Why commission? Because they have to pay their salary. They have to pay the electricity bill, rent and all that. So of course they'll need commissions. But we will pick the mutual fund which charges the least commission. Why? Because we want to save money, of course. Next thing is tracking error. So what is tracking error? See, all of them have a computer blindly investing in the top 50 companies of India. But there are chances for errors. Computer is not working properly or whatever. There are several reasons why there could be a problem. You don't need to know the reasons, but there are reasons, right? So we don't want the error to be very high. So that is called tracking error. So you take all of this, export it, and once you export it, you will use this tool called the Index Fund Selector tool. And if you drop that data over here, the tool will automatically rank it for you and tell you which is the best index fund to invest in based on expense ratio and tracking error, right? So this is how you invest in index fund. Like I told you, there is a method to the madness. It is not inky pinky ponky. It is not copying your friend's portfolio. It is doing real, hardcore, quantitative research. Cool.
I'm going to install MS.
All right. Now it's time to turn up the heat a little bit more, because we have entered the territory of mid-cap funds and small-cap funds, because this is the mutual fund category which generates the most amount of wealth. Absolutely necessary for everybody's portfolio to have this if you hope to achieve financial independence in your lifetime. Having mid-cap fund allocation and small-cap fund allocation is extremely important. Now, let us see what is the story when it comes to mid-cap fund selection, right? Now, when it came to large-cap funds, what we've noticed is that a computer is able to beat the human. Is it true in mid-cap and small-cap funds? Let us look at the data. You see, this yellow line is let's start with the red line. The red line is the computer investing in mid-cap companies blindly as per their rank. This yellow line is the average of all the mid-cap mutual funds in the country, and clearly you can see that the human is able to beat the computer, right, as per the historical data. So the moral of the story here is it makes sense to invest in an actively managed mid-cap fund because there is still lot of growth that they're giving compared to the computer. Even though it is more expensive, you will still pick an actively managed mid-cap fund. But how to do it? Now, this is where it gets complicated. Here, it is not that simple. Now, according to me and some of the financial planners that I've spoken to, these are the 5 things that I will look at when picking a mutual fund. 1 second, there's a cramp that I got on the leg. Ouch, ouch. Ow, it's one of those, you know what I'm talking about, right? The entire ankle is, ow, ow.
What?
Do I have health insurance? It seems. 1 second. All right, it's getting better. It's like a nerve kind of, like getting stuck. All right. Yeah, guys, thank you. I've stretched it. Yeah, I've stretched. A lot of physiotherapists here in the comment section.
பாத்தீங்களா அவன் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா தண்ணி குடிக்கிறான் ஏன் தண்ணி குடிக்கிறான்னு நோட் பண்ண அப்ப யார் மண்டையில ஏறுதான்னு பார்ப்போம் ஏறு
Yeah, somebody saying lack of hydration. I just drank.
இல்ல விதர்ஷனாப்பா you won't become a good entrepreneur. அப்படிலாம் இருந்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு இதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ண மாதிரி.
So these are the 5 things that I will look at and you should look at when investing in a mid cap fund, small cap fund and multi cap fund. The first thing that we look at is something known as, 1 second. Yeah. So the first thing that I look at is something known as the 5-year average rolling return. Let me ask you guys, how do you guys pick your mutual funds today? How many of you look at the last year's returns and see which is the top performing mutual fund and invest it that way? How many of you do that? A lot of you guys are saying yes. Hi, me. Now, how many of you are looking at the last 5 years data and investing like that? How many looking at the last 5 years data and saying, see, now the number of me's have exploded, right? Because you think this is the right answer. The answer is wrong. That is also wrong. Why is it wrong? You see, most people think that if I look at 5 years data, it's better than looking at 1 year data because it's a longer horizon, right? But the mistake you guys are making is that you guys didn't invest 5 years back. You guys are looking at only one data point. Today is 17th December 2023. 5 years back is 17th December 2018. Did you invest in 17th December 2018? No, you didn't. Right? You're investing today. So is it fair to just look at one data point? No, it's not. You need to look at a lot of data points, a lot of iterations. What if I had invested in 10th January 2013? What if I had invested in 15th June 2015? What would be my returns then? Do you know that? No, you don't know. So let us look at more iterations. Let me ask you another question. Let us look at the last 10 years of data. In the last 10 years, can you tell me how many 5-year cycles are there in the last 10 years? How many 5-year cycles are there?
2 5 cycles.
As I guessed, a lot of people are saying 2. The correct answer is 3,650. Who can tell me why? Yeah, somebody has written WTF. Yeah, the correct answer is 3,650 because it's every single day. How? Let's look at the last 10 years back. Let's look at 1st January 2013. 1st January 2013 to 1st January 2018. 2nd January 2013 to 2nd January 2018. 3rd January 2013 to 3rd January 2018. Tell me when to stop. 4th January 2013 to 4th January 2018. So like that, you will end up. And the last one will become 17th December 2013. So to 17th December 2018 to 17th December 2023. So like that, there are 3,650 different 5-year cycles. Right? You guys understood? I can stop? Alright, I can stop. Now what I want to do is, I want you to document all of these returns. 3,650 data points and average it. Do it now. Take 3,650 data points and average it. Please do it.
ஆவரேஜ்னா புரியல எதை வச்சு
Can you do it? Not possible? You want a hack? It's tough? You want to do a hack? Alright, let me show you a hack. So now, I'm going to show you my online tool that I use. So it is a tool called Advisor Coach Mutual Fund Rolling Returns. So you come to this website, go to mid-cap fund sector, select any mid-cap fund that you're considering investing in. Let's say I look at Axis Mid-Cap Fund, right? Let's look at 5-year rolling returns, and I start from, let's say, 2014, July 15th, right? And if you come here, it'll accurately tell you what is the average of those 3,650 data points. So for this particular mutual fund, it is 16.7%, right? So this is how you do it quickly, right? So that is the first thing, guys. Average rolling return, 5-year average rolling return. Next thing you look at is something known as alpha. Alpha is how much has your mutual fund beaten the computer by, right? So that is called alpha, meaning the index. How much better is your mutual fund performed compared to the index? For this, I use this website called Morningstar. Yeah. So this is another mutual fund that I've taken. Again, I'm not recommending any mutual funds here. I'm randomly taking mutual funds. So please don't invest in them just because I'm taking their names. Randomly taking mutual funds here. So risk and rating, 5 years. This is something known as PGIM India Mid Cap Fund. Come here and this is where you find the alpha, 6.34%. Obviously higher the better. Next thing I will look at is something known as upside capture ratio, 5-year upside capture ratio. What does this mean? You see, in the last 10 years, there is a bull run and a bear run. Like I told you, stock market cycles are very fast. There is a bull market. What happened after COVID was a bull market. Now we are in the sideways market, but we might get into another bull market now because of the elections and all of that. And then, of course, eventually there will be a bear market also when everything is going down. Now, our objective is to know. See, this is the reason why you don't look at 5-year CAGR. Because in the last 5 years, we had a bull market. So if you only look at the bull market and pick your mutual fund, that's wrong. You will also look at the bear market. So you look at two things. During the bull market, how has the mutual fund performed? Meaning, during all the days that the Indian stock market has gone up, how has your mutual fund performed? For example, let us take, let's say for example, the Nifty 50 in the last 5 years has given 10% returns, but your mutual fund has given 15% returns. So the upside capture ratio for your mutual fund is 15 divided by 10 into 100, which is 150. Meaning your mutual fund is able to give 50% more returns compared to the index during the good times. But they are not always living in good times. There are bad times also. So when the bear market is happening, meaning the overall India stock market is crashing, going down, how is your mutual fund able to apply the brakes? For that, we have something known as the 5-year downside capture ratio. Meaning, let's say for example, Nifty 50 has dropped by 10%, but your mutual fund has dropped by only 7%, which means the downside capture ratio is 7 divided by 10 into 100, which is 70. Obviously, higher the upside capture ratio, the better it is, and lower the downside capture ratio, the better it is. Where will you get this data? Again, same website. If you scroll down, go here. Upside capture ratio, downside capture ratio. Next, last thing is the expense ratio. I already covered it. How much commissions is that mutual fund charging? So all of these 5 things, when you look at it in a very comprehensive manner, not only one thing, everything you look at in a comprehensive manner, and that is how you pick your mid-cap fund, small-cap fund, and multi-cap funds. And that is all you need. You just need one index fund, one mid-cap fund, one small-cap fund, and one multi-cap fund. That is it. Out of 4,000 options available, all you need is 4 funds. If you want to save taxes, then ELSS. That is it. End of story when it comes to equity mutual funds. So guys, if I have changed the way that you look at investing in mutual funds, please type MD5 in the chat section. MD, oh my god, it is just, and if I could just show you this chat section, it is exploding and I love seeing that. Alright, because that tells me that so many people are learning, and that is why I do this, so that more and more people can learn how to do this. Because this should have been taught to us in schools, but it is not. It doesn't matter if you are a doctor, if you are an actor, if you are a musician, everybody should learn how to do this. Why? Because not everybody can hire an expensive financial planner, so you need to learn how to do this by yourself. Also, what will you not look at? Last year's returns, the company name. You will not look at thematic funds or focused funds or hybrid funds. You will not look at the NAV of the mutual fund. Some people think that, the NAV of the mutual fund is like the stock price, lower the NAV, better it is. Absolute bullshit. No. And your friend's portfolio, the most dangerous thing that you can do is blindly copying your friends, because, see, depending on what is important to you, whether downside capture ratio is important to you, whether alpha is important to you, like everybody has different preferences. So you cannot blindly copy which mutual fund you want. You need to do it yourself. So guys, this is a mini break just for me to understand what has been your favorite insight so far. By the way, this was the most difficult part of the masterclass. Now we're going to flatline here. It's going to remain at this level only. So I want you to tell me in the chat section what has been the most interesting part of the masterclass for you. Everything. Mutual fund selection. Mutual fund selection. The rent versus buy. The fire number. Rent versus buy. Mutual fund selection. Alpha. Rent versus buy. Fire number. All right. All right. I guess time. Let's go.
இப்போ நான் வாங்குறது வந்து கம்மியான விலை. அப்போ எத்தனை பேர் ஸ்பான்சர் பண்ணிருக்காங்க பாக்க.
You guys want to save movement?
நான் வாங்குறது 3 மடங்கு 4 மடங்கு.
Let's go.
நீ அவன தவிர
Next we come to investing in debt. You see, we just learn how to invest in the stock market, which is your equity mutual funds. We learn how to invest in the 5 different types of equity mutual funds. We learn the theory. Now let's understand how to invest in debt. Right? You see, it's very important to have investments in debt as well. I see a lot of people telling me, Sharan, I don't want to invest in FD, I don't want to invest in debt fund, it's very slow. But guys, you have not been through the bad times. Did you know? Can somebody tell me, how much do you think the stock market fell by in 2008? Can somebody tell me? %30%, 40%, 50%. The answer, guys, is the staggering 60%. Right? It's very cool to say, I'll put all my money in the stock market. But when shit hits the fan, and when your 10 lakh of investment has become 4 lakhs in 1 year, I want to talk to you then. Right? You're going to have a good night's sleep that time. So the moral of the story is not just enough to invest in the highest performing asset classes. It is also important to have a peace of mind, because investment is more about your psychology and what you do during the bad times than about making the most amount of money. Your behavior, your investing behavior is supremely important. So having enough money in debt and other asset classes is very, very important. And how to know how to divide the money, we already covered that in the first section of this masterclass, when we learned about asset allocation, and everybody's asset allocation is different based on your financial goals. Alright, so there are 3 options when it comes to investing in debt. Number 1 is FD, which you all know. Second is debt mutual fund. So just like how you give your money to a mutual fund manager to invest in the company stocks, there is also a mutual fund manager who gives loans to companies. You see, everybody requires loans. All businesses require loans. Mukesh Ambani takes loans. Adani takes loans. ITC takes loans. All of them takes loans. What if we can lend money to them? Now, of course, they will not talk to us with their 1 lakh rupees and all. They will not talk to us. They need 100 crores. So there is an intermediate, a debt fund. A debt fund will collect money from you and me and give that as loans to different companies. And in return, they give us interest. They give us a dividend interest. So we don't own that stake in the company, but we have given them a loan. So this is what a debt mutual fund does. A debt mutual fund takes money from us and gives it as loans to other companies. And the last thing is equity saver fund. Now, why is equity saver fund important? You see, until last year, I would not have recommended investing in equity saver fund because this is a hybrid fund. Like I told you earlier, don't invest in hybrid funds. But now I'm telling why. Why? First, let's understand what an equity saver fund is. An equity saver fund invests in debt, equity, and arbitrage. Now, for the purpose of this explanation, arbitrage behaves like debt in terms of fluctuations. I will not get into what arbitrage is because it's too complicated, but it behaves like debt in terms of fluctuations, meaning it is safe, right, compared to equity. But for the purpose of taxation, it is considered like equity. And why is that important? Because as per Nirmala Sitaram, from this year onwards, from this year onwards itself, from March of 2023, if you invest in a debt fund, your taxation will be as per income slab. So, if you are making more than 10 lakhs, you will be charged 30% tax. So, if you made 100 rupees profit, 30 rupees goes to the government. But if it was in an equity saver fund, your taxation is only 10%, and only if you make more than 1 lakh profit. Most people will not make more than 1 lakh profit when investing in that fund every year. So technically it becomes zero taxation, right? So coming back to this, after this year, don't put all your money in debt funds. Please have some allocation in equity saver funds as well. So if it's a short-term goal, let's say you want to buy an iPhone next year, you want to go for a vacation to Bali next year, 100% of the money should go into FD. If it's a medium-term goal, 50% in FD, 25% in debt fund, 25% in equity saver fund. And if it's a long-term goal, let's say you're planning for your retirement, your kids' education, the debt component of that goal. Remember when we talked about asset allocation, let me just connect the dots for you guys. For a long-term goal, 10% of the money should go into debt. Let us assume that 10% is 100 rupees. How will that 100 rupees be divided in debt? Like this, 50% in debt fund and 50% in equity saver fund. So take a screenshot over here because it's again very important because now we are getting into sub-asset allocation. Now I know some of these things might go over your head, but it is difficult for a reason because we are getting into the difficult stuff. If it was easy, you would not want to be here because you'd probably already know it. You're coming here because you want to learn something, things which you don't find easily online. So that's why you're here. And that is my job because you guys are giving me your 2 hours. It is my job to make you understand these difficult concepts in an as easy way as possible. Right? So that is the concept of investing in debt. Now, if you have been, so this slide just talks about the taxation, right? If it's a debt mutual fund, it's as per tax slab. If it's an equity saver fund, as you can see, it's 10% only on the profits more than 1 lakh. But if it's a debt fund in which the equity component is less than 35%, then it will be 20%, but you can avoid this for now. Just invest in this. Now, my question to you guys is, before I get into this, how many of you all have been investing almost all your money in debt funds when it comes to investing in debt? How many of you are putting all your money in debt fund when it comes to investing in debt? How many of you all have not been considering equity saver funds? Please say me. How many of you have never invested in equity saver funds? Please say me. Yeah, that's the right question. I can see hundreds and hundreds of you guys saying me. Some of you are saying only FDs. That is also wrong. But if you are putting if you have never considered equity saver funds, please consider right now because you will be making a lot more money. How much more money? Let's get to the masterclass ROI tool. Assuming you have been doing a 10,000 rupee SIP in debt funds, let's type it over here. You will be saving 6.11 lakh rupees if you optimize it by investing in equity saver funds as well over the next 20 years. This is just for 10,000 rupee SIP. I want you guys to type your answer. What is your answer? Please type it. What is your answer? Let's see. 70,000 rupees, 20,000, 5 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakh rupees, 6 lakh rupees, 60,000 rupees, 30 lakh rupees. As you can see, guys, you guys are saving a lot of money just by making this small tweak in your asset allocation. Because you guys are not following the budget. Because you're not following the budget, you're not making these important decisions of how to tweak your investments because you did not consider tax savings. And at the end of the day, guys, tax is what screws with us all. At the end of the day, the government is the only one making money. We are paying taxes, but you can limit the taxes you're paying if you are smart and if you are vigilant about how to allocate your money. All right. Cool. Yeah. So coming to the 1 second. Yeah. So FD versus debt fund demo. How to know whether to invest in FD or debt fund? So I've created another tool for this called the FD versus debt fund. By the way, before we move on to this, if the previous section was mind-blowing, please type MB7 in the chat section. Please type MB7 in the chat section, guys. All right. Cool. All right, let's move on. Let's now move on to the FD versus debt fund. See, why is FD important? A lot of you might be thinking, Sharan, FD is just for senior citizens. Why should I invest in FD? I want to invest in stocks and mutual funds and all of that. FD and all I don't want to touch. But there are some hacks which you should be aware of on when FD makes sense. And everybody will find a use case for FD in our lifetime, no matter how old you are. And I'll tell you how. Let us assume that you're investing 1 lakh rupees. Every year, let's say you invest 1 lakh rupees in an FD. Every year, at least 1 lakh rupees you're investing in an FD. Not just you, consider your entire family, your dad, your mom, you, your spouse, and all of that. Now you are not a senior citizen, so I'm going to put no. FD interest rate structure yearly, let's say you're put in a 5-year FD. Let's say you're in the 30% tax slab. And let us say you have 2 options to invest in debt. Either a small finance bank FD. These guys usually give higher interest rate compared to your nationalized banks like SBI or ICICI Bank. So I usually invest in a small finance bank FD because they give a higher interest rate. And the second option is a debt fund, which let's say also gives 8% interest. As you can see, because the debt fund has a better taxation structure, it is slightly better than an FD over a 5-year period. But here is where the magic happens. Let us say you don't open the FD in your name. You instead open the FD in your senior citizen parent's name or your grandfather's name or whoever. Now let's see what happens. All of a sudden, FD is becoming better. Why? Because when you're a senior citizen, let me just take a quick sip, guys. 1 second.
He's a man of...
Now, you never know when you get dehydrated.
இதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை வராது. எவ்வளவு நேரம் வேணா பேசலாம். இதெல்லாம் அப்சர்வ் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க. Shame on yourself.
Yeah, 250 ml at 1 hour intervals. Makes sense. Wow, these raisins, so much energy. Wow.
250 ml in 1 hour. Rises energy. நீங்க எவ்வளவு ml குடிச்சிருப்பீங்க? Note down the points.
All right. So, you see, for senior citizens, the first 50,000 rupees of interest income, meaning the profits on an FD, is tax-free. Because of that, this is an extra money that you will be making if you put an FD in your senior citizen parent's name or in your grandparent's name. But it doesn't end there. Senior citizens also get an additional interest rate. They get usually 0.5% more. See now what has happened. 17,000 rupees extra you made simply by not opening an FD in your name, but by investing in a senior citizen's name. So, what does that mean for you? Let me just come here. Let us say that you invest in a year 1 lakh rupees in an FD. Over the next 20 years, if you optimize this FD by investing in any senior citizen family member's name, over the next 20 years, you will be saving 5.21 lakh rupees, right? So, of course, they have to send the money back to you after the FD matures. I hope they do it. But as you can see, everybody has 1-year goals and 2-year goals. If you have to buy an iPhone next year, if you want to buy an iPhone next year, make an RD in your senior citizen family member's name. If you want to save up for a vacation next year, make an RD or an FD in your senior citizen family member's name. because you will end up saving more money because of tax savings. So guys, if you have not been doing this and if you're going to do this going forward, please type MB8 in the chat section. Please type MB8 in the chat section.
இது கவனிங்க, அப்புறம் பார்த்துக்கலாமா ப்ளீஸ்.
All right.
இந்த கிளாஸ் திரும்ப கிடைக்காது.
எனக்கு ஒரு டைம் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு, மேலே கவனிக்க முடியல சார்.
சரி போ, பார்ப்போம். Purpose is more important. Okay. வழி இல்லை, இருந்தாங்கன்னா இருந்தால்.
Yeah, somebody asking what about the tax implication of sending money? They need to be your blood relatives. So if you are sending money to your blood relatives, the government says that there is no additional taxes. Guys, MB stands for mind blown. Somebody is asking what is MB. Maybe you joined very late. MB stands for mind blown. Whenever I teach you something and if it has blown your mind because it is helping you save lakhs, please
Mind
type
blown.
MB, whatever number that is. Cool. So that is done. That covers our debt investments. So what will you not do when investing in debt funds? You will not look at the past year returns because you know exactly what is the interest rate. You know what is the FD interest rate. You know what is the interest rate that debt funds also will give you. It's called YTM, yield to maturity. So you know exactly what it's going to be. So there is no point looking at the past returns of debt funds. See, remember when we invested in equity mutual funds, we wanted to look at the past year returns. But when it comes to investing in debt funds, past returns doesn't matter that much. Mutual fund name, don't look at trade risk funds, don't look at the NAV, and most importantly, don't look at your friend's portfolio. All right? All right. So how to invest in gold? So now let's come to the next asset class.
Sovereign gold bond.
So three options of three ways of investing in gold.
Not recommended. Difficult
Number one
to
is
understand.
physical gold,
Making charges.
which is your gold coins
Jewelry.
and jewelry as well. But
But
I
you
would
know
say
the awesome-
do not consider jewelry as an investment because you will lose almost 15 to 20% of the value of that jewelry as soon as you walk out of the store. It's something known as making charges. Next, you have the option of gold mutual funds and ETFs. So
ETFs
gold
என்னது?
mutual funds are those which allow you to invest in like a digital version of gold. Right? It's not called digital gold. It's like without owning physical gold in your pocket, you can invest in gold. Guys, just give me 1 minute. I just have one date. I'm feeling a little bit of dizziness. Just give me 1 minute.
என்ன வருதா உனக்கு கிரிடினஸா?
இந்த மாதிரி மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்டு இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும்போது உனக்கு அதே ரேட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கொடுக்கும். அது ஃபிசிக்கல் கோல்டாக இருக்காது அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லுவோம். கோல்டு இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணுறத நீ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க, நீ பண்ண கோல்டுக்குன்னு தனியாக காசு போடுறியா? அப்படிலாம் இல்லையா? அந்த 85,000 தனி, கோல்டு தனியா? கோல்டு தான் அதுவா?
35,000 அதுல இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கொடுக்குறாங்க, அவ்வளோதான். நான் கோல்டு வாங்கணும்னு நினச்சா வாங்குவேன். இப்போ எனக்கு அவசியம் இல்லை, எனக்கு எதுவும் அவசியம் இருந்தால் வாங்குவேன். பட் இது இப்போ நான் மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்டில் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணி அதுக்கப்புறம்
கோல்டு காசு கட்டுறேன்னு அது கேட்குறேன்.
இல்லை இப்போ ஒத்தாப்புறம் எல்லாமே ஒன்றா கட்டுறேன்.
கோல்டுக்கு நான் சேர்க்குறேன்னு சொல்லல.
ஆமாம்,
சீட்டு மாதிரி.
அதான் இப்போ அதான் போடுறது இல்லையா, ஒத்தாப்புல இதுக்கே போடுறேங்க.
All right, guys. Little bit of low energy here, so I'm going to keep it lower now. All right. So gold mutual funds or ETFs, guys, it's not good for you because they have bad taxation structure. After the recent tax change that Nirmala Sitharaman that came up with, they charge 20% taxation. Sorry, they charge as per your income slab as well, even for gold mutual funds and ETFs. So the recommended way of investing is through SGB because
Gold
they have
நீங்க கட்டியா வாங்கி
significantly,
வந்தா
so basically they are tax free
these bonds are issued by
and
the government with
they also give an
investment
additional
years
interest
and
rate on
after
top of
after 5 years of
the. They also give an additional
capital
2.5% interest on top of it. So the
recommended
overall
வந்து
taxation of an
sovereign
SGB
gold
becomes
bonds
significantly
கட்டியா
low.
வாங்கி வைக்கிறது நல்லது.
சாவரன் கோல்டு
So this is a simple table over here to show you exactly what happens to our investment when you invest in physical gold versus SGB versus gold ETF. So you can just go through it.
ஓகேவா?
அதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு போங்கங்க. அதான் சொல்லுங்க.
சாவரன் கோல்டு தான் நானும் மறந்துட்டேன். அதெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சிருக்கேன். சாவரன் கோல்டு தான் ஒரு இருக்கு. அதெல்லாம் அங்கே தான் இருக்கும். சும்மா ஒரு 1 கிராம் தான் வாங்கினேன்.
1 கிராம் வாங்கிட்டீங்கன்னு?
இல்ல அது எப்படி செய்முறை என்ன அப்படின்றதுக்காக தான் வாங்கினேன்.
Now the hack for investing in SGB, guys, is not to get it from the RBI directly. So I recommend getting SGB from the secondary market. So what happens is when you buy from RBI, you buy it at full price. But there are several people who are selling it in the secondary market at a significant discount. So there is this website called Wintwealth. Let me just show you. So as you can see here, right now the discount is not that high. But usually the discounts are significantly higher. For example, 7-8 months back, if you had seen, this would have been like 3 to 4% discount. So when you're buying SGB, don't buy it from RBI, buy it from the secondary market. Now, how much money will you save when you buy it from the secondary market? Come to the Masterclass ROI tool. If you put 1 lakh rupees, if I assume that you're investing 1 lakh rupees in gold every year, you will be able to save about 34 lakh rupees over the next 20 years. Every year, if you keep optimizing this, instead of buying SGB from RBI, you buy it from the secondary market because you not only get the gold appreciation. Gold appreciates by 6 to 7% every year. On top of that, you also get 2.5% interest from RBI, and on top of it, this buying from the secondary market makes you buy the gold at around 3 to 4% discount. So every year when you do this, you save a lot more money. You can end up getting around 11 to 12% returns in gold when you do this. So that comes to the gold investing optimization. All right. The next section is investing in US equity. You see, we should not just put all our money in India because there's something known as geographic diversification. See, right now everything might be going good in India, right? You might be like, Indian markets are giving good returns. But what happens is that sometimes Indian markets might not perform well, right? But the US market will perform well. You see, the Indian and the US market are negatively correlated to each other. What I mean by that is, sometimes the US market might not perform well, but the Indian market will perform well. And vice versa. The Indian market will not perform well, but the US market will perform well. So you need to diversify your investments in US as well. Secondly, the US dollar appreciates against the rupee every year, 3 to 4% every year. And thirdly, US gives you the opportunity to invest in asset classes, US allows you to invest in stocks which are not available in India. For example, you know that the future of the world is AI. You know that the future of the world is green technology. You know that the future of the world is robotics. But Indian companies are not that great at it. So investing in US gives you the opportunity to do all of that. So how to invest in US equity? First one is invest in the S&P 500 ETF. So this is like the Nifty 50 of the US market. And the other options are, if you want to invest in technology companies of US, I have shortlisted some ETFs for you guys so that you can invest in them. So ARK Innovation ETF, sunrise sectors like semiconductor and all, you can invest through here, artificial intelligence. So just take a quick screenshot over here so you know what ETFs to invest in for these new age sectors. Alright guys, now let's come to the insurance scam case study. So this is something that will help you save about 55 to 60 lakh rupees. So what happens is, when you go to Policy Bazaar, let me just show you, right?
பாருங்க.
Just type a random number. Yeah, so you need a term insurance policy because if you die, your dependent should be protected for, let's say, 1 crore rupees. There are two options to buy this. Let's say you make it yearly, 1 crore term insurance, and let's say there is an option called 45% safe. So what they're saying is, see, usually the term insurance you have to pay until you're 60, right? Because you need it until you're 60 years old. But they are like, don't pay me until you're 60. Pay me for the next 10 years and you'll save up to 40%. So this might seem like, logical, but let's see what's happening behind the scenes. So for this, I have something known as the insurance comparison methodology tool. So I've done an opportunity cost analysis and see what happens. So if you continue paying till you're 60, you end up paying 4 lakh rupees. But if you select policy B, like they say, only pay for 10 years and you save a lot of money, you save 2.5 lakh rupees. So you will be like, okay, 2.5 lakh rupees is less than 4 lakh rupees. But what they're not telling you is the opportunity cost, which they will not tell you. So if you do that opportunity cost, see, 15,000 rupees extra you're paying for the first 10 years. And if you do it over the next 40 years, assuming a 12% returns, that ends up saving you up to 56 lakh rupees. So guys, a lot of people fall scam to this. Can I ask you in the chat section, how many of you have bought health term insurance by agreeing to pay for the next first 10 years itself? So I can see a lot of people saying me. So guys, please change it. Please get it changed and save a lot of money. So how much money will you save? Second. Yeah. So if you are, now this part of the tool is not dynamic. So whatever that amount comes to you, please write it. So if you are considering a 1 crore term insurance, please type 56 lakh rupees. Sorry, not 5.6 crores, 56 lakh rupees. And the last one is our tax saving hack, which will help you save another 20 lakh rupees. So I'll tell you how this works. Now this is something even most CAs would not be knowing. Yeah. So you see, when you buy a house, usually you include your spouse as a co-applicant in your house. I'm saying don't do it. Because if you do that, you cannot take the benefit of both HRA and home loan tax benefits. Is there a way to get both of it? Yes, there is. So if your spouse gets the house in his or her name, and if you pay rent to that person, you as a couple together can get both HRA tax savings and also the home loan interest rate tax benefits. Now, you might be like, okay, but I still have to pay tax on that income which my spouse is making as rental income. Yes, but he or she gets a deduction on it. There is a 30% deduction on the rental income that they're making, due to which you guys are able to save a lot of taxes. Now, how much? I'm showing you here. So, if you have bought the house together by including both your names in the home loan application, you get to save around 21 lakhs in taxes. But if you do what I just told you, where only one person gets the house and the other person pays rent, you get to save 30 lakhs in taxes. So come here. And if you put the value of the house that you're about to purchase, both you and your spouse, let's say 1 crore house, of course it varies for every person. You will save 9 lakhs in extra tax savings because you have decided to optimize your taxes as a couple. So this is a tax saving hack which most people don't know, and it is something that you can also do. If you're not doing it, you can actually refinance your house loan and do this to save a lot more taxes. Second. Yeah. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of the masterclass. Now this is my favorite section because I want to know what is your final number coming out. What is your number looking over here at the end of the masterclass? Can you please type in the chat section what is your number? Prashant, please open the chat section as well. I'm saying 4.8 crores, 5 crores, 34 crores, 3 crores, 3.89 crores, 15 crores. Wow. Guys, so that is the entire objective, right? When you guys have given me 499 rupees, my promise to you guys is that you guys are making way more than that, at least 1 lakh rupees. And I'm seeing already numbers like 5 crores, 6 crores, and all of that. So I wanted to rate this masterclass. If you have made more than 500 rupees after attending this masterclass, please give it a 5 on 5 in the chat section. Thank you so much, guys. And guys, congratulations. You guys are now in the top 10% when it comes to financial planning. You guys have given me 2 hours of your time today, and it's a Sunday evening, and you guys are now in the top 10% when it comes to managing your money. But I want to share something very shocking to you guys. Did you know that even in a country like US, which is the most richest country in the world today, even there, less than 5% of the people can achieve financial independence, and only 1% can leave inheritance. Whereas, imagine how low that is in a country like India. We are still a developing country. Imagine how low it's in a country like India. How much percent of people do you think can achieve financial independence? Right? So my question to you guys is, do you want to stay in the top 10% today as you have achieved? Or do you want to enter the top 1% when it comes to managing your money and solidify and significantly increase your chances of achieving financial independence in your lifetime? Do you want to achieve it? Of course you do. Right? This is not like a one-time thing. Right? Like if you read a book, you'll remember what you learned, right, for that day. But 1 week later, when I ask you, what do you remember from that book? Have you implemented what you learned from that book? The answer is very, 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 very little. That is how I want to treat this masterclass today. Today's masterclass was like reading a book, right? You are not going to remember everything. You are not going to implement everything. That is because most people are not able to take the full value of a book. So my solution to you guys is the 1% club. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you the challenge that you guys are facing. The number one problem that you guys face is you can't find everything in one place, right? Even in today's masterclass, you guys learned so many things which you can't find anywhere on the internet also. This comes from my experience of talking to wealth managers. Second thing is you don't have the tools to implement it. See, today, if I had just given you Gyan, right, would you have liked it? Would you have liked this masterclass if I had just given you Gyan and not given you tools? But of course not, right? Tools are important to implement what we've learned. The third problem is you don't have a community of people, right? It's easy to just say, watch that video, learn it and all of that. But having a group of people studying together just increases the chances of success of implementing it. And the last thing is you don't have the time. You guys are mostly working professionals or running your own business. I can't expect you to learn about money management and finance over the next 2 or 3 years or pursue a CA degree. You want something quick, something which will do it very, very quickly for you guys and in the most efficient and the productive way possible. So my question to you guys is, what road will you choose? Will you guys follow the current road that you're following, where you're trying to figure out what's happening and all of that, listening to your friends and uncles and aunties, and probably end up in a situation where at the age of 45 or 50, you have just 50 lakhs in your bank account, but actually you need 6 crores? Or do you want to follow the highway? Do you want to follow the highway with me so that we can understand exactly how to achieve financial independence in our lifetime? Because you need to realize that this is a lifestyle change that we're bringing about, not like a 2-hour masterclass where you can just bring about a permanent change, because real change takes a long-term effort, right? So allow me to introduce you to the 1% Club. Now, this is a company that I have started in the last 1.5 years, and we recently got backed by Nikhil Kamath, who is a co-founder of Zerodha. He has invested 10 crores in our startup. I'm sure you would have seen the news. And he's really, really passionate about, increasing the financial literacy of this country. We both realize that there's not enough, schools have not taught us this. And it's really going to be a very big problem if people are not able to understand how money works. So that is the thesis and the mission statement of the 1% Club. So there are 4 things that we offer. Number 1 is the Financial Freedom University. I'll get into full details of it very, very soon. Second thing is the financial planning tools. Today we learned about 4 or 5 tools. In the 1% Club, we'll have 25 plus financial planning tools. The Master Financial Planner tool that I just showed you in the earlier sections of the masterclass, this bad boy will be there in the 1% Club to all the members, right? The third thing is our community app. By the way, there are around 33,000 current members in the 1% Club. I'll show you all of that very, very soon. And the last thing is access to offline events. We don't just stop with teaching you. We enable networking opportunities among other smart people such as yourself in your respective cities. So because we know that the biggest determinant of success is the people that you surround yourself. Right? So the Financial Planning University, guys, is divided into 6-7 modules. The first module is strengthening your foundation. Like I told you, this masterclass recording is not going to be shared. The presentation is not going to be shared. But for the 1% Club members, if you found this to be very fast, this today's masterclass, the entire recap, right, will be done in module 1, where you strengthen your foundation, understand the jargons, creating a budget plan, creating a prioritization framework of your financial goals. All of that will be taught in module 1. Module 2 is creating a custom financial plan. You see, today you learned how to, you saw the Master Financial Plan tool for a brief period of time. So this entire thing will be taught to you in the 1% Club, right? So the entire module 2 is dedicated towards learning how to use a Master Financial Planner tool and create a customized financial plan designed for you so that you don't have to copy your friends. Module 3 is about learning how to pick equity mutual funds. Today we covered the theory. We will also have tools for doing all of this. So we have the equity mutual fund selector tool, right? So I'll just show you this briefly. So the index mutual fund selector tool, which I showed you, is only for the 1% Club members. The mid-cap fund selector tool, the small cap fund selector tool, all of this will be taught how to use in the module 3 of the 1% Club. Along with that, we'll learn how to invest in US equity. We'll go into more details of it. We will learn how to create a investment, how to create a portfolio in gold, how to invest in real estate, how to invest post-retirement, how to manage the portfolio of your senior citizen parents, because their money is going to be your money. So all of that will be taught in module 3. Module 4 is all about health insurance planning. We will learn how to pick the right health insurance product for yourself, because we discussed earlier that your company health insurance is not enough. We will learn how to pick health insurance for your parents. That's a different ball game altogether. So we'll learn all of this with live case studies. We will learn how to plan your life insurance, and we will learn how to master your CA, because like I told you, CAs are only there to file your taxes at the end of the year. Knowing how to manage your tax planning is a year-long process. So we learn how to plan your taxes as a single person, how to save taxes as a married person, how to save taxes using your parents and kids. All of that will be taught. Right? So the 25 plus financial planning tools that I was talking about is all mentioned over here. There's a lot of things that we cover. So I'll just quickly show it to you. But as a part of attending this masterclass, you get access to 5 tools, which is Financial Organizer, Fire Number, Rent versus Buy, FD versus Debt Fund, and Old versus New Tax Regime tool. This will be given to you at the end of the masterclass. But all of these other tools is only for the 1% Club members. And new tools are added every month. Then we have our community app. I'll just quickly show it to you how it looks. Yeah. So this is the web version of it. This is sort of like an Instagram of finance. It's also available on Play Store and App Store. You can check it later. Right? So this is our academy section. Right? You get access to all of these 3 things. Personal finance, tax planning. This is conducted by C.A. Rishita. Stock market wizardry by Shashank Udupa. So all of this will be covered, right? So this is how our Financial Freedom University is structured, right? Then you also have access to our financial planning tools. And the last thing, and my favorite thing, access to our offline events, right? This is something that we've been doing across India, not just in Bangalore or Mumbai. Across India, we've been doing all of this. And I'll just quickly show you what all we cover in our events. So these are some of the past guest speakers who've been coming to our online and offline events. Now, these guys are experts in their respective fields. For example, this is a mutual fund manager. This is an insurance expert. He is a stock market expert. This is a tax expert. I have access to these people. I bring them on the 1% club. And additionally, at no extra cost, all of these members are accessible to you. And they come from some of the leading companies of India. In addition to that, you get access to my 1 year access to my WhatsApp comic. Imagine every day you get a message from me at 8 in the morning where you get a WhatsApp comic from me talking about the most exciting news about the previous day, whether it's current event or personal finance, all of that will be coming every single day as a WhatsApp comic. You also get weekly email newsletters from me and in-person event invites. So these are some of the pictures that we have taken from my Mumbai event, Bangalore event, Delhi event, right? And we also got celebrities like Tanmay Bhatt to attend these events, and you guys also get to interact with such celebrities in our events. And not just that, you guys get to network with each other, right? Imagine the smartest people in your city to network. Because the problem today is that after your 9 to 5 job, you only do Netflix chilling or you go for clubbing or whatever. We have forgotten how to network for professional reasons and increase your career prospects. So the 1% club events is where these happen. So the question I want to ask you guys is, are you ready and serious enough to take the lead? I want to ask you guys, are you ready and serious enough? Right? So just to summarize what is there in the 1% club, you get the Financial Freedom University, you get 25 plus proprietary Excel calculators, you get the gold membership in the community app, you get 4 weeks of guided boot camps, daily WhatsApp comics, weekly email newsletter, access to my offline events, and lifelong live stream sessions. So I want you to take a guess at this price. All of these things that I just talked about. What do you think is the price? Some of them are saying 30,000, 25,000, 30,000, 45,000. So guys, if I get the true value of all of the things that I just talked about, the true value, I'm not saying this is the real price, I'm saying the true value. If I had to talk about the 3 different learning programs that we have, personal finance, stock market, tax planning, if you go and see what's available online, it's nothing less than 20,000 rupees each, right? So I'm saying that is 30,000 rupees, all of the things that we have in the Financial Freedom University. The 25 plus proprietary Excel calculators, nobody gives this, by the way. We are the only EdTech platform in the country today, which actually gives you easy to use financial planning tools so that you can use it and implement what is being taught, not just, gyan. So all of these things, if I put together, the true value is anywhere from it's around 85,000 rupees, lifetime membership. But that doesn't solve the purpose, right? Because the people who need it cannot afford to pay so much, right? We want to make it accessible to as many people as possible, and that is the reason why there are 33,000 members today just in 1 year. So I want you to take what discounts you think we'll be offering. Like 5%, 10%, 25%, what do you think? What do you think will be the discount? Guys, we don't want to play like this. We want to straight away slash it off to a price that I know is affordable for the vast majority of you guys who are finance enthusiasts and want to bring a permanent impact in your financial planning and achieve financial freedom. We are straight away slashing the price to 16,999 for a lifetime membership. And not just that, guys. The link to join this will be given very, very soon. Prashant is right here. Please hold your horses because there is one more surprise. There is a surprise for the people who are able to do it quickly. There's a fastest finger first. If you are doing it in the next 15 minutes, because we've come to the end of this year, this is the last masterclass of this year, guys. Because of that, for this new year, we are giving a special coupon code year end. I mean, we just got investment from Nikhil Kamath, 10 crores, so we are able to do all of these things. So just in the first 15 minutes, only for the people who are really, really serious about joining the 1% club, in the first 15 minutes, you can use this coupon code year end to get an additional 7,500 rupees discount, which brings down the total cost to 9,499. And let me tell you guys, this is a lifetime membership. This is not like every year you have to pay. Lifetime membership. And if I assume that you'll be investing over the next 20 years of your life, that is 30 rupees per month. 1 rupee per day. This is what I call a no excuse price, guys. It is so affordable that you have no excuses to give, right? And it's a 7-day money back guarantee, meaning if you do not like what you're getting, we do not want your money. In the next 7 days, try it out, take advantage of this first 15 minutes, get the 7,500 rupees additional discount. 7 days you experience what the 1% club is. And if you do not like it, no questions asked, money back policy. So when you click the link, this is what it's going to look like. Let me just show you what it's going to look like, right? Second. Yeah, so this is what it's going to look like, the payment gateway page, which Prashant would have put. Please put your first name, guys, because this is how we will be addressing you in the membership through all the communications. Your email ID, whatever it is, sharon.at@gmail.com. Put your WhatsApp number so that you get the WhatsApp comics and all our communications. I'm going to put a random number so that you don't get my number. And the coupon code that we just launched, year end. As you can see, from 16,999, the price is discounted by 7,500 rupees because we are still in the first 15-minute segment. And the price comes down to 9,499, only available in the first 15 minutes. I think we already crossed 5 minutes. And there are multiple payment options. I know that not all of them can maybe afford to pay everything in one shot. So people who can, there is credit card. The safest option is UPI because that's the easiest thing to do. You can scan this QR code. And the last option for people who cannot afford it in one shot is also an EMI option. So in the first 15 minutes, if you are purchasing, you can join the 1% club with as little as 465 rupees per month. Right? So again, we want to make it as affordable as possible. Let me tell you guys who is there in the 1% club. Like around 10% of the people are students as well. There is a 15-year-old guy as well. Around 60-70% of them are working professionals across multiple age groups. There are people who are actors, musicians. There are people who are CAs, people who are in the finance profession, all kinds of people. I'll show you the testimonials very, very soon. And there are also people who are, Yeah, and then also there are business owners as well. A lot of people get confusion. Sharon, if I'm a business owner, will this be helpful for me? Around 20% of our members are business owners. I'll just show you the testimonials very, very soon. And guys, if you're buying in the first 15 minutes, which is right now, you also get Shashank Udupa's stock market wizardry program for absolutely no cost. Shashank also comes live every week. Every week he comes live to talk about what has happened in the market so that you can take those insights and invest your hard-earned money. Right? So that is available only for people who join in the first 15 minutes. Right? So just to give you guys an opportunity cost analysis of what the 1% club offers. Now, because I showed you the masterclass ROI tool earlier, right? Earlier we saw the masterclass ROI tool, right? You saw this, right? Today you saw how much money we're able to make in the masterclass. Over the next 20 years, what is the impact that has been generated for you guys? So like that only, I want to show you what the 1% club members are saying about what impact they're getting, right? So if I assume a 50 lakh corpus, now you might think this is a big amount, but over the next 20 years, you will reach a point where you're managing like 4 to 5 crores, right? Because you have to achieve your FIRE number. It is minimum going to be 4 to 5 crores. So if I assume that over the next 20 years later, you will be having a portfolio of 4 to 5 crores. So on average, every year, if I take that as the milestone, every year you're managing like 50 lakhs. Today you won't have it. Eventually you will have it. So if I take that as the assumption, from our index fund selection methodology, you will be saving 50,000 rupees every year by knowing how to pick the right index fund. By knowing how to pick the right mid-cap and small-cap funds, you will be able to save another 1.5 lakh rupees every year. Now I'm saying saving, but you are actually losing all of this money right now because you don't know, right? Because you're not doing all of these things, the opportunity cost for you is this. Because you're not doing this, you are losing this amount of money every year because you're not doing it. That's why it's called opportunity cost. The Master Financial Planner tool, the big ass tool that I just showed you here, because you will know how to do the correct kind of asset allocation as per your financial goals. Every time you get a bonus, every time there is a change in your financial life, how to move around the money, all of those things, those important decisions that you'll be making will be helping you save about 2.5 lakh rupees every year. Now, these are coming from our current existing 33,000 members. We talk to them and we're getting these insights from them. Knowing how to pick the best life insurance policy, around 20,000 rupees every year. Knowing how to pick the right health insurance policy, not just for you, but also for your parents, 30,000 rupees every year. Car insurance planning, 5,000 rupees every year. And tax planning, 20,000 rupees a year. All put together, guys, you are already losing about 5.7 lakh rupees every year. You don't know about it because you're not doing it. If you are doing it, you'll be able to plug those gaps. So the way I try to put up, the way I try to convey this, imagine this: your financial life is like a pot of water. There are currently holes on it. These holes are costing you so much money every year. So what we are going to learn in the next 4 weeks is how to seal these holes. So the next 20 years can help you accelerate achieving financial independence. It's as simple as that. Plug those holes because those holes exist today in your life. You don't know about it. Today you will learn some of those holes through the masterclass. But in the 1% Club, you're going to learn a lot about lots more holes which are there in your financial life, which we will plug, fix, and build. Right? So the decision is simple, guys. Will you continue losing 5.7 lakhs a year? Or would you want to join the 1% Club and bring about a permanent change in your life and help you save upwards of 1.5 crores over the next 20 years? So I know what the objections you might have, guys. What if I don't like it? Like I told you, we have a 7 days money back policy. Even if you don't like it, next 7 days, experience what we have. 7 days, no questions asked, money back policy. We want it to be a zero risk investment for you because this is an investment that you are making for your financial life, right? So we want it to be a zero risk investment for you. 7 days, experience it. If you don't like it, take my money back. Next question you might have is, can't I just hire somebody to do it for me? No, I wish this solution existed. Unfortunately, there are only 1,300 financial planners in the country. So clearly, they are very few in number for a country of 1.4 billion people. And they only work with HNIs, people who have minimum 20 crores of net worth, because they make more money from them. They spend the same amount of time helping an HNI. Obviously, they make more money from themselves. They don't want numbers. But there are some financial planners who will say they'll do it for free. That is also a scam because they are actually giving you regular mutual funds where the expense ratio of the commission is 1% more. So overall, over the next 20 years, these guys will guzzle out 20% of your overall net worth because of that extra 1% commission. So don't be scammed by these financial planners who say they'll do it for free because they're actually giving you regular mutual funds, which is costing you a lot of money. Right? So the only solution is to do it by yourself until there are more and more financial planners in the country. That is the story for another day. We are working on that also in the 1% Club, but that will take a lot more time. Next question, you will be like, can't I learn it by myself? You see, today you learned so many things. There's a reason why you came here, right? Today's masterclass. Even if you say like, okay, everything is available for free on YouTube and all of that, then why aren't more people financially independent? If it was so simple, if everything is available for free, why are not more people not having finance problems? Why did you come for this masterclass? Wouldn't you agree that there are so many things that you learned in today's masterclass which you don't find anywhere else on the internet? Wouldn't you agree that? So the 1% Club is a combination or an amalgamation of all of my learnings over the last 3 years. Not just my self-learning, but also by talking to mutual fund managers and financial planners of the ultra-wealthy. Taken all of those learnings, simplified it, and made it available to you guys, all in one place. Right? So the first question I want to ask yourself is, why haven't you done it until now? You haven't, right? You've been lazy, you've been procrastinating. That is what we saw. The 1% Club solves for this procrastination by putting everything in one place in a simplified and structured and verified manner. Next thing you might ask, like, okay, Sharan, I'll do it now. But how much is 2 years of your time worth? Because whatever I've learned today took me 3 years to learn. Even if, let's say, it takes you 2 years of your time, isn't that time worth your money? Because what you're going to learn in the 1% Club will be covered in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, you will cover all of that. So you're already losing 5.7 lakhs a year, as I just showed you your opportunity cost. So don't you value your time, right? So my only thing is that come to a solution where everything is accelerated in a 4-week structured bootcamp, which is what we offer in the 1% Club. So that brings us to the last point. Do you have an accountability partner? Let's say you're studying. You come back from a 9-to-5 job or your business, and after 8 o'clock you want to study by yourself. Don't you think you will get driven by your friends to go to party or whatever it is? You'll procrastinate. But in the 1% Club, there is an accountability partner. There is a dedicated mentor allocated to you guys to push you to complete it and to clarify your doubts. You see, most edtech companies have a 7% completion rate. We have a 93% completion rate. 93%. And it only happens because we give you mentors and we have create accountability partners for you to push you and complete whatever is being allocated to you. And the best part is just 10 minutes of your time per day. Just 10 minutes of your time per day. I know you guys are now thinking about a New Year resolution. I want this to be your New Year resolution, guys, because we all know New Year resolution goes into thin air within 2 weeks. Let's say you get a gym membership, you pay 10,000 rupees for a gym membership, and it's gone, right? Because you're not able to afford the let's say the gym trainer. Think of the 1% club as your gym membership with a gym trainer, because we will 100% ensure that we are doing everything in our power to ensure that you learn and complete and implement whatever is being taught, because access to knowledge is very cheap. Having a structured program to push you and complete it, that is priceless, right? So the moral of the story is, guys, I want to help you save more of it, save more money, and make more of it. And that is the entire thesis of the 1% club. So if you still don't believe me, I'm just going to let you read these testimonials. These are actual real testimonials from Trustpilot. For those of you who don't know what Trustpilot is, it is the most trusted review website on the planet. So here, there are people who are coming here and giving their actual testimonials. You can read it about over here. Okay, so there's some few more testimonials. You can just read it. Alright guys, so Prashant, can you open the chat section? Let us understand how many people have joined the 1% club. Just continue reading the testimonials if you are still not confused, become convinced, because there are hundreds and hundreds. We keep getting like 4 to 5 new testimonials every single day, and we keep collecting them so that we have proof of what we are doing. So Prashant, just open the chat section, and guys, if you have joined the 1% club, please type join in the chat section so that everybody knows how many people have joined. As you can see, guys, hundreds and hundreds of people have joined. And let me just ask him how many have joined. All right, so apparently there are about 1,100 people who have already joined the 1% club, guys. 1,100 people. So, guys, before we start the Q&A, just know that we try our level best to kind of help you achieve financial independence. We give you, this is the only place where you get the resources, the tools, and the actual mentorship support to achieve financial independence in your lifetime. And we have been doing this for almost 2 years now, and we keep getting better and better. And like I told you, this is a lifetime membership. It doesn't end with learning, watching these videos or implementing these tools. It doesn't end there, because we will also be launching career boot camps very, very soon, only for the members. Because our objective is to tackle every single component of becoming rich. First, we are tackling how to manage your money. Next, we'll teach you how to make more money, and so on and so forth. Right? So that brings us to the end of the masterclass, guys. Now let's take the Q&A. Second. Naeem is asking, I'm very new to finance management. I don't know much. Is it safe to refer app like EP Money where they show data about the returns and profits? Naeem, great question. A lot of people get tricked by these fintech apps where they have written, recommended, highly recommended, and all these tags that they use. But the reality is that these guys take marketing budgets from the mutual fund companies. So what an app or a website is recommending you as best mutual fund has usually a company which has paid them to say that. So do not trust these apps or websites to tell you which mutual fund to invest in. You need to do your own research. This is the reality of the industry. Right? These apps actually take marketing money from these mutual fund companies to recommend them. So don't fall for that trap. But using the app is great. I've used ET Money. It's a great app. I've used Zerodha's app. I've used Grow's app. I've used IND Money's app. All of these are great apps. But do not trust their recommendations for mutual funds, because they're all coming from promotions. Okay, Raj has asked a great question. Raj, what if I am a full-time trader? So Raj, even if you are a full-time trader, you still need to know how to manage that money. You will not be trading with your entire portfolio, right? That is stupid. You cannot trade with your overall money, right? That is very, very highly risky. So you still need to know how to do your financial goal planning. You still need to know how to do asset allocation. You still need to know how to do tax planning. You still need to know how to do insurance planning. So all of that will be covered in the 1% club. Let me just go to the difficult questions. 1 second. Yeah, Ria is asking, so you mean senior citizens get tax-free profits in FD? Not the entire thing, only up to 50,000 rupees of interest. Okay, Dr. Vishal is asking, what is your view on the novel banks giving more interest rates on FDs, 10 to 12%? Dr. Vishal, I don't know what is novel bank, but these are usually riskier FDs, 10 to 12%. So these guys will usually be like an NBFC and all of that, which are not secured by RBI. So I would avoid putting a lot of money in these FDs because they are not secured by RBI. There's no insurance on this. Hemant is asking, can I get a recording session? No, Hemant. As we mentioned in the beginning of the masterclass, there is no recordings mentioned, no recordings available. But an entire recap of whatever has been taught in the masterclass in more depth will be covered for the 1% club members in the first week of their boot camp. Okay, Akash is asking, what is in the boot camp in the 1% club? So, Akash, the boot camp is just our way of structuring the learning in the 1% club. So, let me just show you quickly, right? You see, in the 1% club, you have this academy, right? Now, to learn all of this, right? It's easy to say, okay, just watch these videos. It's very easy to say that, right? But you guys don't do it because you guys procrastinate. So what we've done is, for the next 4 weeks, with just 10 to 15 minutes of your time, we have broken down the entire learning experience. We've gamified it with assignments, quizzes. Now don't be afraid of this assignment and quiz. It will be very, very simple and little amount of your time. 10 to 15 minutes of your time every single day. We have gamified your entire learning experience. So in 4 weeks, we cover everything. In addition to that, you will be allocated a mentor and you'll be getting access to other students. Like today, I think 1100 people have joined. So you'll be divided into different batches. And in each batch, you're all learning together like a classroom environment. So you are there, other people are studying with you, and then there is a mentor also. So the entire 4 weeks, you want to bring that classroom environment learning experience because we don't trust you. We don't trust that you will watch the videos by yourself. And that is why we are so successful. That is why our completion rates are 98% and other edtech companies 7%. Because people are procrastinate, right? You know that. How many courses have you studied online after buying them? Very few. But when you were in school and college, you were very diligent. Why? There was a strict teacher. There were students who were, you were competing with your friends, right? Your friends were helping you. So all of these things were there. So the point I'm trying to make is the boot camp is a well-structured program so that you are completing what you signed up for, right? Because there's a lot of things to cover. Cool. Going back to the... One second, guys. The screen is hanging. Where is the questions? Yeah. Okay, Sandeep is asking, is PPF a good investing option? PPF stands for Public Provident Fund. It is one of those government options which you get for investing. It's like a debt investment option. You get up to 7.5-8% interest rate and no tax. It can be part of your long-term goals. Let's say, for example, you want to plan for retirement and 10% of the money should go into debt. PPF can be one of the options. But the important thing to know is that it is coming under Section 80C. So because Section 80C is just 1.5 lakhs, it is usually already taken by your employee provident fund, your ELSS and all of that. So usually this is not even applicable for most of us because the government has not increased the Section 80C for God knows how long. So it is not really that important anymore. Sure, you can invest in PPF, but the tax-free return is not possible beyond 1.5 lakhs of Section 80C slab.
Super.
Okay, Manju has asked a great question. After maturity, when the senior citizen transfer back the money, wouldn't it be taxable? No, Manju. Like I told you, because it's a blood relation, if money is transferred between blood relations, there is no additional tax that is incurred on you because there is money sent between family members. Rasika is asking what is the difference between debt and mutual funds. Debt is a type of mutual fund. So mutual fund is a broad name. Within that there is equity mutual fund, there is debt mutual fund, there is hybrid fund. So debt is a type of mutual fund. Subhas is asking, is it profitable to invest in bonds? So guys, very great question. So a debt mutual fund is a combination of loans. Remember I told you in the beginning of the master class, after 1 hour of the master class, a debt mutual fund is a combination of loans. The technical word for this loans is a bond. Now you have the option to directly purchase a bond as well. So imagine in a debt mutual fund, your money is divided into multiple bonds. But you also have the option to buy the bond directly. Now this is more riskier because obviously the concentration risk is more. Minimum investment is usually 10,000 rupees. It's usually about, depends on the company. It could be 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, or it can also be 10,000 rupees. There are several new fintech startups which have come to help you directly buy bonds. Either they will tell you these are the options, you buy whatever you want, or they'll tell you this is the best thing I could find, you buy this. So there are many fintech startups which have offering these kind of services. Of course, it's more riskier than FD or a debt fund because if it goes, right? So, but it can still be your debt component. Let's say, for example, your debt component is 100 rupees. I would say around if you are making more than 50 lakhs per annum, only then I would say consider investing in bonds. And let's say 100 rupees is your debt component, some 10-20 rupees can be invested in bonds. And they give a higher interest rate. Like if a debt fund gives 7-8% return, a bond can give up to 9-11%. Would that answer your question? Yeah, so Avita is asking how to choose debt funds. This is a tool that we have made for the 1% club members. So if you already joined, you'll be getting access to this tool. So there are 4-5 things that are looking at when you go with the tool quickly. Yeah. So there are several parameters that we're looking at when it comes to investing in a debt mutual fund. So there's average YTM, modified duration. So these are the things that you look at. Your expense ratio, volatility, the fund manager tenure, expected return. So all of this is computed using our tool. And in the 1% club, we teach you how to get these data points and put those data points into this tool. How to put the weightage for different parameters and calculate what is the optimal debt fund. So all of this will be covered in the Okay, Hiriap is asking, I'm not able to edit the sheet. Hiriap, you need to download the file because it's right, otherwise it's a Google sheet. So you need to download it first, then you can. Vivekananda is asking what is NAV. Vivekananda, NAV is net asset value. It is basically like the stock price of a mutual fund, but it has no significance for your investment. Abhishek is asking, can I start FD on my grandparents? Prashant is saying, what if senior citizen expires? Then that person will given Deepesh is asking, will I get PPT after the class? No, Deepesh, no recording, no PPT. Access to whatever is taught today for lifetime is only for smart phone. So if you join late, then I'm sorry, you will not be getting access. But we have covered everything. If you have diligently joined from 6 to 8 p.m., everything is Manisha is asking how to choose debt fund, not debt mutual fund. It's one and the same thing. Shriram is asking, please show again the index fund selection tool. There are some mutual funds you have shown. I have noted it down. I want to see it properly. Shriram, that data is 1.5 years old. Purposely I made 1.5 years old. Because that is not the kind of learning environment that I want to create in the 1% club. There is no copying over here. Everybody does their own research. Everybody will shortlist the mutual fund by themselves because everybody will have a customized requirement. right? So you will not copy funds of others because your requirements will be different from others. Your risk appetite is different. Your goal-based planning will be different. Your prioritization in terms of which parameter is important to you, whether downside capture ratio is more important to you, whether 5-year rolling return is more important to you. So all those things will lead into different results. So you will not copy or do it by yourself. Siva is asking, you spoke about buying a house, but not about a car. As it is a depreciating asset, what do you say? Siva, you already pointed out it's a depreciating asset, so try to be as conscious with your car purchase as possible. It doesn't. It is not an investment, of course. It is only a lifestyle expenditure. So, of course, there's nothing more to say in that, right? Just buying a car, buy as make your car as affordable to you as possible. And here is where people make mistakes, right? Because we think, and I tell you, right, this is a very great insight. Listen to me carefully. So, when it comes to investing, if you are not doing financial goal-based planning, you subconsciously give more weightage to short-term goals. For example, getting a car. Now, you might be thinking of buying a 10 lakh car worth 20 or a 20 lakh car. In a 10 lakh car, let's say the EMI is 10,000 rupees per month, and let's say in a 20 lakh car is 20,000 rupees per month. Now, because you are not consider your retirement goals, your kids' education, you're not even looking at all of that in the financial goals, right? Because you're not considering, you might think you have a lot of money. So you'll buy a 20 lakh car. But in reality, if you had considered your retirement goal, what is required, for your kids' education, what is required, you will realize that, hey, I can't afford a 20 lakh car because I need to save for those goals also. So this is the problem, right? Because car is a short-term goal, like I have to buy a car this year or next year, you incorrectly spend more than what you're supposed to spend on a car, which you cannot even afford. So the affordability of knowing whether a car is affordable to you is misconstrued in most people's mind because they're not considering your long-term goals. So if you see what we do here in the Master Financial Planner tool, right? If you come to the financial goals section, because you document all of your financial goals here, and because you know exactly what is the SIP amount required for every single goal, and you also prioritize them. You know exactly, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. These are the small decisions that affects your life, right? If you make the wrong decision of buying a more expensive car, or going for a more expensive vacation, or buying very expensive clothes, or buying very expensive gadgets, because you don't have the futuristic view of how much money you require for other important goals like retirement or your kids' education, or your marriage. That is the funda, right? Simple things like this is the difference between achieving financial independence and not achieving financial independence. It is just that. Yeah, Ranjan is asking, if a person opens a FD account in senior citizen person's name, what would happen if the senior person doesn't pay the amount back? Or give the matured FD to siblings instead of the person who put the amount in FD? Yeah, this is a great question, but I don't know what to do here. Be very close to a senior citizen parent, I guess. Let you be their favorite. I mean, there's no solution for that. What is the meaning of liquid investment? So Abhishek, liquid investments is anything that you can easily sell. Right? Let's say, for example, buying a house and living in it is an illiquid investment. Because you cannot sell the house within 1 month. It will take you months. And you will also not be willing to sell because there's negotiation happening and all of that stuff. Right? And there's black market, right? So that's an illiquid investment. And plus, probably you never want to sell the house only. So that's why it's called illiquid. Liquid investments, your FDs, your mutual funds, your gold, all the things which can easily be sold. Right? Gold, of course, if it's physical gold, jewelry around might be difficult to sell. But things which can be sold easily, like savings accounts, cash, your mutual funds. Mutual fund is the biggest category of liquid because within 2 days you can get the money. Manju was saying a good idea to start investing in my health in the 20s. 3 investments: increase your muscle mass, cardiovascular endurance, and flexibility. Thank you so much. Just like how I have given you financial tips, you're giving me health tips. Thank you so much. I will now today I've realized how important it is to take care of my health as well. I've been doing this. This is almost my 30th masterclass. I've never really had lightheadedness. First time this has happened. I think I don't know why. Maybe the health professionals here can tell. I had this coffee 5 minutes before the masterclass. Maybe you think I had a caffeine crash or something? I'm not sure. maybe you can tell me in the chat section what could have happened. But that's the difference. Dehydration. Alright. Orientation. Okay. Cool. Chaitanya is asking, can you share the screen?
பாரு,
percentage
ஒரு
of
மணி நேரம்
investment in each section? Yes, Chaitanya, let's do that right now.
ஒரு மணி நேரம் வந்து அந்த கம்பெனியை பத்தி ப்ரோமோட் பண்ணி பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இதுதான் மாஸ்டர். 2 மணி நேரம் கிளாஸ் எடுத்தான். நான் 1 மணி நேரம் கிளாஸ் எடுத்து வரேன். ஒரு மணி நேரம் அந்த ஸ்கிரீனை போட்டு கிளாஸ்க்காக வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
Yeah, I think this is what you wanted. This slide. This is a very important slide to know about your long-term asset allocation, how it should be. Now, if you have the Master Financial Planner tool, you don't have to worry about this because in the Master Financial Planner tool, there's something known as a portfolio recipe tool where you can input all of these things for every type of tool, right? Sorry, you can input all of this for every type of tool, and the tool will automatically allocate the money based on those inputs. So all of that will be covered in the 1%.
நான் இது நான் இத நான் என்ன சொல்றது
All right.
இவன்
What's
எப்படி
next? What's
மார்க்கெட்
next?
பண்றான் இதெல்லாம் நான் பார்க்கணும் எனக்கு தேவையில்ல
Can I get access to 1% club on my
சரி
laptop?
ஓகே
Yes.
இது நடக்கட்டும் ஓகே இங்க இது முடிச்ச உடனே க்ளோஸ் பண்றியா ஓகே நான் போறேன் இது ரெக்கார்டிங் தான் இருக்கு சரியா நான் போறேன்
But then, of course, there's an app as well. You can go to Play Store and App Store. You can watch it on your app as well because we wanted you to not have any excuses. People are like, Sharan, after coming back from home, I can't study and all of that. But you guys are spending 2 hours every day commuting, so we wanted to make it accessible on your phone as well, so that instead of listening to music or scrolling on Instagram during your commute, open the 1% club and learn the things that they're teaching you. So that's one thing. And of course, the
okay
website version is this.
இதுல ஸ்டாப் ரெக்கார்டிங்
Right, there are 33,000 people here. Any doubt
So,
that you have?
இந்த-
Very, very
இந்த-
vibrant
இந்த
community.
program.
This is like the most
இதுல-
financial
இதுல
community in the
stop
country. I've
recording.
seen most of them.
இதுல
Nothing comes
வச்சுக்கணும்,
close to
எனக்கு
this,
screen
all these
தெரியும்ல.
questions they're asking,
இப்ப
right?
நீங்க
So of
போறீங்கல்ல
course, it's complicated sometimes. You have doubts. So
எனக்கு
there is a
இத கிளிக்
community
பண்ணுமா
of
இத கிளிக் பண்ணிட்டு
33,000
இது
people
ஸ்டாப்
to
பண்ணுமா
keep helping you whenever you have
ஒரு
doubts.
ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ற
And
கையில வச்சிருந்தாலும் ஒரு ரெக்கார்ட்
Not
ஆகாது
just that, there are also
இத
mentors
இத
who are
கிளிக் பண்ணதானே இது
advocating
வரும்
to
உனக்கு
help
ஸ்டாப்
you
பட்டன்
with your
வரும்
doubts in the first
அது
4
எனக்கு
weeks.
புரியுது இது
So
இப்படி
that
இருந்தா ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகாது
you
மா
get the
எனக்கு
right
ஸ்கிரீன்
answer
வேணும்லமா
from the
ஸ்கிரீன்
mentors
ரெக்கார்ட்
that I
பண்றேன்
have
தெரியுதா உனக்கு அங்க ஸ்கிரீன் வருது தெரியுதா
ஓகே
All right, let's go to the chat.
இதெல்லாம் நான் என்ன பண்றேன் என்ன இப்படி கூட வச்சுக்கிறேன் ஓகேவா
எனக்கு
Okay, Achyut is asking what kind of events do you conduct in the 1% club? So Achyut, very simple.
புரியுது
What we have realized
ஓகே
is that
இது முடியும் இது
there are 3
முடிஞ்ச
things when
உடனே
it comes to
இது முடிஞ்ச உடனே இங்க ஸ்டாப் ரெக்கார்ட்
becoming
பண்ணிட்டு
financially
க்ளோஸ்
independent.
பண்ணிடு அவ்வளவுதான் ஸ்டாப்
as
ரெக்கார்ட்
per my life, what I have discovered.
No.
Number one
Stop
is learning how to
recording,
manage your
save
money.
up on
That is
அதுவே
something
save
that I've
ஆகாது,
been learning
கேட்குது
since I was
அது.
14, 15 years old. My parents incorporated that savings mindset in me. Since then, I've just been learning about how to manage my money. So I learned that. Second thing is increasing your income, right? Getting a higher paying job, you do your MBA, you get into IIMs and all of that. But the third thing which nobody talks about is surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. Today, if I ask you, what do you do on your weekends? You go home after 7, 8 o'clock, you open Netflix, you watch TV. On a weekend, you might probably go out partying or clubbing with your old friends. Or you might go check out a new restaurant. Or you might go watch a movie. These are the things that we do. When was the last time you spoke to somebody different from who you usually interact with? Usually you interact with your colleagues and your old friends. The third important thing about your social circle is new people that you can interact with. Now today there is no platform which exists which allows you to interact with new people. No, when you go clubbing and when you go for a concert, those people are not there to improve their professional career. They're there to drink and have good time. So there is no professional gathering of people anywhere in India today where I can, let's say for example, I'm interested in product management. Let's say in the 1% club we conduct a product management workshop in Bangalore. 30 people will come. It is conducted by, let's say, a product management professional from Swiggy. We actually did that. Let's say they come and teach us. So you get to interact with other people who are in other companies or product management roles. You get to interact with a product management professional. So what you've done is you've increased your surface area of luck to fast track your career, to open up opportunities which you would have not gotten elsewhere. And that is the only reason why I have achieved the success that I've achieved, because today, because I have a big network on social media, whoever I reply to on LinkedIn, send a message on LinkedIn, I get a reply. But everybody doesn't have that sort of a privilege, right? I just realized that is such a big privilege. Like whoever I ask on LinkedIn replies to me. Not everybody has that privilege. So I want to create a platform where you get to increase the chances of meeting such exciting and professional people in your city across various niches. Product management was just one experience. So that is one part of our event's purpose, to help you meet more successful people than you in your respective cities. Think about this. This membership costs 9,500 rupees. How many people do you think can afford 9,500 rupees? Right? So many successful people here. The average, like more than half of the people in the 1% club earn 20 lakh plus. Around 10% of the people, around 15% of the people earn 50 lakh plus. 15% of the people in the 1% club earn 50 lakh plus. Right? So there are so many types of people in the 1% club. So that's the first type of events. The second type of events is fun events. So we want to also enable fun events for you guys. So for example, we did a workshop on how to dress up, and how to dress up for work, and how to improve your communication skills. Or we did a India Pakistan match screening. We had done India World Cup screening. World Cup we lost, but we had done a screening for that in all top four cities of India. Right? So like that we conduct a lot of these fun events as well. So that you get to make new friends while having fun. And the last thing is, we are now talking to brands. When we talk to a brand, for example, let's say now we are about to close a deal with Third Wave. We are going to Third Wave and say, Bros, I have 33,000 people with me. What kind of discounts can you give to my members? Exclusive discounts only for my members and nobody else. And can we conduct free events for my members? So let me tell you, the events are of two types. One are paid and one is free. The very nominal prices, right? But we are constantly working towards making events free by talking to brands and telling them, boss, we have quality people in the city, rich people working in good companies. If you can conduct a free event for them, can you sponsor it? And can you give freebies for my members? So we are working on all of these things, and that is why there are 60 people in the 1% club working relentlessly solving these kind of things. So that is why I told you, the 1% club is not like one course that you study and finish it off. It is a membership, which is a lifetime membership where you get access to all of these things that I just talked about. Yeah, somebody is asking, when will I get access to the tools that we have talked about in the masterclass? Only those 5 tools for the masterclass members. It will be sent to you in the next 24 hours, guys. We collate all the email IDs, we stuck till the end, and everybody will be sent. Within 24 hours, you will get it. If you haven't gotten it, it is probably in your spam. If you still haven't gotten it in your spam, please write to us. Prashant, please put the support email ID in the chat section right now. We try to respond within 4 to 5 hours max, but on weekends sometimes we might be late. Like I told you, there were 6,500 people in this masterclass, so sometimes we might be slow, but don't worry, you can talk to me on LinkedIn and I will fast track processes for you in case you're getting a delayed response. But understand there are technical problems sometimes. If we send out an email to 6,500 people, maybe 50, 60 people might not get the email because it might be stuck in spam or it didn't get sent to. Like techies would know why. Right? So we have a support team, 7 people support team. Within 4 hours, we respond to everything. Yeah, Shivendra is asking, is buying a SGB from secondary market safe in all aspects? Yes, Shivendra, it is the same thing. Basically, your friend would have bought the SGB from the primary market, whoever you're buying from, and you can buy it from him. And for the purpose of RBI, you are now the new owner. So RBI continuously gives you the 2.5% interest going forward. So it is completely normal. Piyusha is asking, will I get access to the videos for lifetime? Yes, Piyusha, it is lifetime access. We are not going to keep it on for a long time. Like, it doesn't make sense to give lifetime because then what will I do after everybody has joined? So we still are a business at the end of the day. We still need to make money. But because we are still in the first year of the 1% club and we are just getting started, 33,000 people might sound like a big amount, but we have plans of taking it up to 5 lakh people in the next 2 years. But in the beginning, because we have raised money, we have the funds, we want to give it lifetime access because the people who are joining now are the people who are really, really believing us and trusting us. So we want to give that access to the people who are early members of the 1% club. Now imagine 5 years, 10 years from now, there are people who are paying every year, but you guys are getting it free for the rest of your life because you joined in the first year of the 1% club. Think of it this way, right? Our parents are part of this Lions Club and Rotaract Club. This is what you are part of, right? The cool club, right? You're not a part of Lions Club and all of that, and just, and not do anything productive with our financial lives as well. Okay. Achyut is asking, what if you have an existing LIC policy, how to get out of it without a loss? Achyut, it's not possible to get out without a loss. There is something on a surrender value. So this is something that we teach in the 1% club as well, where we tell you exactly whether you should surrender it or whether you should not surrender it. So there is a tool that we have built because it's a very complicated answer. I don't know the data of your LIC policy. So when you input those data points in this tool, it will tell you exactly whether you should surrender it or you should continue it. And it will tell you exactly how much money you will save if you surrender it versus continuing it based on the opportunity cost. And the number is usually in lakhs because these existing money back policies and all are very, very expensive. Like usually you are paying like 50,000 rupees every year to LIC to be a part of this policy. But like I told you, over a 20-year period, it's usually like 5 to 6% returns. That's it, post-tax.
Okay, so then, okay, நான்கு பேர் இங்க போட்டோ போடுங்க. ஒரு ஆளு போனா பூதம் டீம் சொல்றது 4 and is the right answer.
Alright guys, I'll take like 3 more questions before we wrap up. Shubham is like, lifetime membership studying. Boss, studying is only for 4 weeks, 10 to 15 minutes per day, and then you're like a chill member because, like I told you, there's a lot of things that we plan for the 1% club members. I don't talk about this on social media because there is like an inner community that we have for the 1% club members, and I communicate all of these things inside. I've not really talked about it on social media yet. Okay, Prashant is like, about the book, Prashant Puri, this is not my teammate Prashant Puri, somebody else. So, while you joined the masterclass, there is an option to get my e-book as well, Zero to Viral. That will also be sent to you in the next 24 hours.
How many cases were there?
Okay, last question. Second.
11. How the 11 சொல்றாங்க நீங்க
Okay, Sudhir is asking, can this 4 weeks be covered in continuous 1 week sessions? Yes, Sudhir. There are people who have completed everything in 2 days also. Right? So there are people who are like so passionate. As soon as they come within 2 days, they complete everything. This is like the teacher's pet, the front benchers. So there are like that people also. So the thing is, it is on demand, right? You have lifetime access. So some people are like, they're not able to catch up. They don't want to wait for the tasks to come. They want to do everything at once. This is the front benchers. At the same time, there are back benchers who want to study everything at the end moment, last day. There are like that kind of people. So what I'm trying to say is, it is something which is in your control. You can watch it at your own pace whenever you want for the rest of your life, right? The boot camp is there because they have designed the boot camp because we know that you are a procrastinator. So we want to ensure, maybe not you, majority of us are procrastinators. We want to ensure that you are doing whatever is given or whatever you signed up for, because if you do not complete after purchasing, you will blame me only. You will be like, I bought it, but I didn't do it, so I'm not liking it. You will blame me for your procrastination. So that is why over the last 6 months, we have built a dedicated team to help you complete it, who will kick your ass until you do everything properly. Because if you do not complete, you will blame me only, right? So we want to ensure that you complete it. Rahul has asked the question, will this membership be helpful for NRIs who are looking to invest? 100% Rahul. We have, out of the 33,000 people, I think around 2,000 plus people are NRIs itself. You see, NRIs invest in India. They are investing in Indian mutual funds. So I would say for the tax and life insurance, it might not be helpful. But investing in mutual funds, doing goal-based planning, buying your health insurance, all that is still important, because as you must be aware, health insurance is location specific. So your health insurance in US is not applicable for India. But I'm sure you're also coming to India frequently. Right? So for that, if something happens to you in India that time, no health insurance for you. So you need to buy health insurance in India also. This is something that most NRIs don't think about. So I hope that answers your question, that why 2,000 plus NRIs are there in the 1% group. And usually it's, your US, Australia, UK, usually and Dubai also. Okay, one last question. Yeah, what platform to trust to invest in US equity? Great question. I personally use INT Money and Vested. So these are the 2 apps that I use when it comes to investing in the US equity. Alright guys, cool guys, so we've come to the end of the masterclass. still 2,800 people still live. If this was an auditorium, it would be like, you know. But thank you so much, guys, for staying till the end, and thank you so much for supporting me when I had that energy drop in between. The messages on the chat section is what kept me going. A lot of people supported me during that time, so thank you so much. And I hope this last 3 hours and 15 minutes was everything what you expected. See, my objective is that if you have invested 499 rupees and 3 hours of your time, you get value, right? So if you stuck till the end, I know that you've gotten value, and I'm sure your masterclass ROI tool is packed with a lot of zeros in terms of how much money you'll be saving over the next 20 years. So my request to you guys is, if you can share that on LinkedIn, whatever your masterclass ROI tool is saying, if you can share that on LinkedIn, if you're proud to share that, please do it. And you can share proof of that on our email ID called testimonials@1%club.io. Prashant would be putting that in the chat section, because if you send us proof, we will refund the entire cost of this masterclass for you, because that is my way of thanking you for helping me spread the good word of the impact that we have created for you in the last 3 hours. So let me repeat: make a LinkedIn post with a screenshot of how much money you were able to save and your entire experience of attending this masterclass, and share a proof of that, maybe just a link of that LinkedIn post. Please write to me on this email ID, testimonials@1%club.io, and we will issue a full refund for spreading the good word. That's number one. Number two is, each of you guys will be getting a WhatsApp message from me now for forwarding to your friends. So basically, if you think that this masterclass is going to be helpful to any of your friends or your family members, so a lot of the times what happens is, a friend will ask their spouse to join, because only, like for example, it's usually the guys who come here most of the time. Then the guys will be like, I want my wife also to come, so they ask their wife also to attend. Because, or it's the other way around. Let's say a woman has come, and then they want to convince their husband to do it, but their husbands are like, no, what is this? I don't know that guy. So they're like, okay, you also come to the masterclass, you also watch, and they also learn a lot of things. And it happens this way also. Like a parent comes and they want their 16-year-old teenage kids to also attend the masterclass, so they'll attend. They'll ask them also to attend. So like that, if you think that your friends or family members should also attend this masterclass because you felt it was, very transformational for you, you will be getting a WhatsApp message from me, and all the people that you forward it to will get a 50% discount to attend my next masterclass, which is happening in January 7th. So January 7th will be the next masterclass. Again, you guys have hopefully fulfilled a New Year resolution by joining the 1% Club. But for your friends and family, if they want to change or implement all of these things as their next year New Year resolution, please forward this message to them. All right, guys, this was a very, very difficult, the most difficult session I've had. Very, very drained of my energy. Thank you so much for sticking till the end. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I wish you all the best for the rest of your life. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
அதாவது நாங்கள் எப்போ ஒன்று சாப்பிடலாம்னு நினைக்கிறோமோ அப்போல்லாம் இந்த பொரோட்டா, ஒரே ஒரு பொரோட்டா கடையில் மட்டும்தான் சால்னா நல்லா இருக்கும், கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும். அந்த பொரோட்டா கடை இல்லையா? ஆமாம், இல்லையா?
Recording stopped.